Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of the Guardian Down podcast. I'm joined today by Baccy Cones,
Kia ora.
Banjo Kazooie,
Yo, yo.
Civilian,
Yes, sir.
and Woody.
Hello.
I'm your host, GregTheDuck, and today we're starting with the discussion of hawkmoon. Baccy, could you give us some lore behind hawkmoon?
Unfortunately, if you're going to refer to Destiny 1, can't give you very much, but basically the short lore tab that's with it is stalk thy prey and let loose thy talons upon the darkness. That's just a simple summary of what's yet to come, I'm guessing, but right now all that Hawkmoon's involved with is the story of Aldrin Shov coming back to being a Guardian, which is pretty sick at the moment.
Nice.
So
So
Woody,
is that-
Woody, you've been playing Destiny since day one, Destiny 1. You would have used
Yes, sir.
hawkmoon in Destiny 1. How do you think
Yeah.
hawkmoon compares in Destiny 1 to Destiny 2?
I haven't used it. I haven't got it because there's too much PvE. I don't know. I need to
Yeah.
do some shit.
We have lazy
But-
people in the house.
But honestly, the perk sounds trash to me because you can't change weapon.
As of
No,
Paracausal
you can't change
shot
weapon.
itself,
So if someone pushes you, you can't take out your
So
shot.
how does it
Or
work?
do anything.
To get the one
So
tap, you need
it's
to...
trash.
So
Empty clip.
the perk proc itself is called Paracausal Shot, and basically how it works is you've got to land your hits. So if you're free tapping people to the head, so triple tap headshot with precision shot, you're going to charge Paracausal Shot 3 times. You do it again, you load it up a full 6 times. When you've got that 6th shot, you've got 1 bullet left in the chamber by the time you've charged it, and after that, if you land that bullet anywhere on the body or a headshot, that's a 1 tap. If you've loaded up 5 times,
Okay.
it's a 2 tap. And three times, it's a free tap, as per usual.
Yeah. So per precision hit or kill on a combatant gives
Yeah.
you 1 charge of it,
Yeah,
and then it applies all that damage to the final shot.
yeah, and the play style with it as well was very tedious. So if you want to
Mm.
play very passively to try and proc the perk, it involves a lot of kill stealing, which won't get you very far in the Destiny community. But the big thing about it is just pushing hard and actually getting hits in with it, because it slaps. The range, the handling, perfect.
But
to me, it's actually really similar to how Spear Rations performs.
It's also missing a perk, right? It can be re-rolled.
So it's got transformative, which is just a placeholder for whatever role you can get, and like the roles range from anything from, we got, what are we looking at? So we got alloy magazine, chambered compensator, hammerforged rifling, all the way through all those sorts of perks to killing wind, snapshot sights, eye of the storm, moving target, and all those, and a ton of grips, which, well, we know those only really handle with stability and handling, so they don't make too much of a big difference. So yeah. It's
So this
So
will be the
really good.
first exotic that can be re-rolled to have perks to suit the person using it.
Yeah.
That's good.
So it's basically like farming a
good.
legendary, except it's an
Yeah.
exotic.
Well, the way we're going to be acquiring those rerolls is really good. We're going to be looking at going into a strike very similar to what we've got with Cloud Strike and other things like that.
Okay, so have you used you're a PvE main yourself? Have you used hawkmoon in PvE?
Yes, I've taken Hawkmoon through a few different activities. Nothing major. I haven't had a chance to do it through the raids yet. It doesn't feel meta shifting too much. It's a strong hand cannon, like hitting precision kills or getting kills, and then that final shot, use it on big yellow bar enemy, chunk it for a nice 40-50k. It's pretty good. But it's, as I said, I don't think it's going to be, defining the meta. I don't think it's going to be Izanagi's for Garden of Salvation day one.
Yeah, I think along with using it in PvP, what's really shined through is the fact that there's a lot of testing to still be done. Right now, the only things that have really been done are like perks you can throw off top of with your subclasses, like the gunslinger subclasses and stuff like that, and Divinity. Like, it's still looking really good with that too, so you should definitely look into that.
So I've used hawkmoon myself in PvP, and I think it's actually pretty good. I think it's got good bones, right? It's got a nice rate of fire, and good range. Like the damage drop off isn't that much.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's probably one of the most balanced guns in Destiny right now. The way it performs is really good because you can be really aggressive with it, or you can be really passive with it. and either way, it just works. Like there's no big difference with it. And the mag size, that's the main complaint I've heard people saying. Oh, it's 8 rounds instead of 11. Rah rah rah. That's not a big deal. I think that's perfectly balanced considering you need to hit 6 precision shots to get it, and you get 8 in the chamber. That's 2 you've got to work with by the time you get that 6 charge. So if you can't hit the one shot.
So Banjo, you don't have hawkmoon yet. Have you been on the receiving end in Iron Banner or Crucible of hawkmoon?
100%. I was gonna bring that up. Dude, as soon as you get hit by it, it just fucking slaps like a truck. Like, I'm trying to I'm not very good at the KBM, but as soon as you miss that first bullet with True Prophecy, and someone's slapping you with hawkmoon, yeah, you're missing every bullet, and they're hitting everyone. So
so the rate of fire is a big difference.
Yeah, it's a killer. Like, I can't wait to get it myself and give it a go.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. With that 140, you see it and you go, it's just a 140. But no, I think it really, really slaps really well. If anything, I'd say it's a 150 because it feels like one.
So we think hawkmoon might sub out something like a Dire Promise because the perk's more beneficial, or? I
can say this now. I've full-heartedly dismantled my Ace of Spades. Haven't pulled that thing back out in the last few days, so I don't think Ace of Spades is going to be a part of the meta for me this season.
It's a fair commitment to it.
I mean, there's no point in using Ace of Spades if you've got hawkmoon though, because it's just Ace with Mori, but does more damage.
Essentially, yeah.
If you can hit your shots.
So that bonus damage you get on Memento Mori is all just stacked into one shot at the end of your match.
Yeah.
So it's definitely well worth it.
If you can get your shots, it slaps. But it's hitting those shots.
So instead of hitting that triple crit in Destiny 1 that you hit once in a blue moon, if you hit all 7 shots as a crit, you have that one shot.
And that, as long as you've got a 6 stack of paracausal shot and you hit your target you're shooting that last shot at, you're going to kill them. You shoot them in the toe, dead. Shoot them in the face, definitely dead.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's only the last bullet that does extra damage?
So so the paracausal shot.
Okay, I'll stick with my original statement. This is trash. It's trash.
And I think that's one of the issues PvE wise with it is, why is Rampage the best perk in the game? Because it's damage constantly. And same with Swashbuckle.
And that's why I had a bit of a giggle when I saw that one of the perks that wasn't available in hawkmoon was Rampage.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it's looking to be a really good gun, because you're not going to get any of those ridiculous perks. There is like Killing Wind and some similar perks like that on there.
But the change from a mag that it used to be a mag of 12 in Destiny 1, now it's a mag of 8. So
pretty much
they've upped the reload speed on that being a mag of 8 instead of 12. What are your thoughts of that, of having a shorter mag but a quicker reload speed?
Well, it gets you to the lucky bullet first.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's where you want to be on that lucky bullet.
And that's why I like the mag size. The mag size is really good because you don't have the random one-shot bullet anymore, which for me and D1 happened once in a fucking blue moon. But now you're guaranteed to get it. As long as you can play with it properly, hit your shots and do all that, you're sweet. You're going to be doing fine. And
wait, so
again...
What else can you get on it? What else can you get on it? Do you know? Like you said, Rampage,
so I've got the full list. So if you want, I can briefly go through them all.
Yeah.
Alright, so in your first slot, you can get Arrowhead Break, Chambered Compensator.
Wait, so it's an actual reroll like a legendary?
Yeah, it's
so
basically
it's a reroll
a
legendary.
So can you put Icarus Grip on it then?
No. So
no,
it just you
base.
can just roll base perks. You cannot add on like a target adjuster, Icarus Grip, radar tuner, or anything like that.
Rampage spec. That would be
still acts as a exotic. Just
and like
roll
you can get, the thing is you can get snapshot sights on it as well, but with the handling and the aim in time, I don't think snapshot sights is going to make too big a difference. It's definitely not for me.
I can agree with that.
But like the cool thing about it is all the perks that you can get on this gun are literally only, like from what I'm reading here, only equivalent to being stability boost, handling boost, recoil less, and stuff like that. You know, all of them are like playstyle perks, what I'd call. For me, they're playstyle perks, you know?
Good stuff overall.
Killing Wind, Hammerforge Rifling, and I'd say probably a Smooth Grip for me would be... that'd be me happy.
Yeah, it's quite unique.
So
So-
it also comes with a quick draw.
Go, Siv.
We also have Iron Banner this week.
Yeah, so I've been using Hawkmoon in Iron Banner. I think it slaps. I love Hawkmoon. It's the rate of fire and the range have pulled me in, perk or no perk. It just has the range that I want to contest with a hand cannon, like a Dire Promise range, but it beats Dire Promise's rate of fire. It doesn't hit as hard, but when you've got the rate of fire, it makes up for the difference.
See, yeah, because like why I asked Woody before we actually got into recording tonight about the aim assistance and the recoil on spare rations. Well, the hidden aim assist on this Hawkmoon is a 93, and the recoil is a 96. So that's why I asked, because it feels really similar to spare rations.
So Woody, now that you know that the perks can be re-rolled on a Hawkmoon, does that change your mind?
No.
Okay.
Honestly,
Still-
like,
You'll go after it eventually.
yeah, I'll get it. I will get it. I will get it, and I'll try it out. But the amount of times that I like shoot my first shot, hit someone's head, and then just push them with a shotty,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah,
I can't
that's
not.
what I was gonna say. With Woody's
can't not
playstyle,
change
I'd
weapons.
assume for him he'd be someone that wouldn't be too phased on it because he's still running
And,
around. with
and that
nine
gets into the
guns.
question: is it promoting passive gameplay, which is what I would say. And that's
It's also run that risk of running around with one bullet in the chamber. Like, you've got to reload after that
Yeah.
shot. If you miss it, you're now stuck in a reload.
You're talking to the guy right around screaming and I'm betting going, oh, I've got one bullet left. I've got one bullet left.
Oh,
But no,
dangerous.
I somewhat disagree.
But only one bullet.
I disagree with that. I don't think it promotes passive playing in PvP. That's going to happen whether you like it or not. You're going to get new people, or noobs especially, who get the gun and go, sweet, cool, I'm going to go use this, but how do I get the perk to work? Oh, I've got to get my last bullet, and I've actually got to hit shots. I'm going to sit at the back of the map and steal kills because those things actually got good range. And, you know, until someone like myself, Woody, or any other Titan in the world comes along, they're not going to last long. So I don't think it... I think, if anything, it's going to promote free kills from the people who aren't good at the game.
True.
Moving on to
True.
more Iron Banner. So the Iron Banner quest is dropped, but it only drops an emblem. Civ, what are your thoughts on that?
It is a dope emblem. Like, it may just be an emblem, but it does also give you the 2 new weapons as well from it. So it'll give you the scout rifle and a hand cannon. And I like the emblem. It looks cool. It's actually what I'm running right now.
So in the past, they've normally done a quest for a specific gun. So there'll be a Iron Banner only quest that you have to complete. And normally they're pretty hard, right? Like, you know,
I mean,
there might be precision kills in Iron Banner. Like, they were very difficult to do for a good gun. But now they've just switched it to, you get the guns that are in the loot pool and you get an emblem. You don't get a specific quest gun.
I mean, thankfully they avoided the whole shenanigans of heavy weapon kills. I don't know if anyone remembers that. I think 2 seasons ago.
Definitely.
Yeah,
That was a bit of a nightmare.
I do recall this, yes.
Yeah.
No, I think the quest is really good this year. I mean, I think some people had trouble with the scout rifle kills, but I mean, from there on, it was pretty easy going. I noticed that actually the season, like the objectives this season for Iron Banner, felt really weird because I noticed I'd finished my first and second step, and I'd only been doing my first step. So I think I kind of flew through it because I don't really pay much attention to the Iron Banner quests. I've got a week to do it. I'm gonna get it done. But if you're asking me in any way, shape, or form, do I think the reward from it, like the emblem's cool and the guns are great, but again, they are guns we've seen before, and I don't use 120s very often, and the scout's slow.
So, Banjo, how do you feel, being someone that played in Destiny 1 and has played the majority of the seasons in Destiny 2? How do you feel that the old Iron Banner quests measure up to the new one?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm trying to think how the old quests, what did they involve? That was very similar, right? Or
Yeah, well, there used to be
Yeah.
like primary kills, energy kills, heavy kills, and then kills with particular weapons. So you'd have to get sword kills, you'd have to get sniper kills, you'd have to get hand
Yeah,
cannon.
just a bunch. Like
And I'm
I,
sure,
Rocket launcher kills. Oh.
yeah, no
and wasn't
thanks.
I'm pretty sure there was
No
even the
thanks.
odd week here and there where they'd throw in super kills as well, which I do
Yeah.
remember.
Which was
The
part of the
supers-
quest that we just did. It was.
Supers are part of the pinnacle
Yeah.
quest.
Yeah, I will say now that Iron Banner from D1 to D2, it feels very similar and very cool, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it was slightly harder in D1
Mm.
You agree?
because
Which
you were forced, depending on what you had on your character at the time and what you could pull out of collections, you were forced to use all three weapon types, heavy, energy, and kinetic. So it really affected what you were doing that week.
So do you think the quests were harder in D1 rather than D2, Banjo?
Yeah, they've probably gone lighter because it's like, what is it? Suited to casuals these days. I remember even just an Iron Banner bounty from Crucible. Just a Crucible bounty, regular Crucible bounty, was like, it wasn't as simple as kill 2 Guardians. Some of the bounties these days.
The bounties,
well,
the
but
bounties
a lot
were a
of
lot
them
They
harder.
were
Really?
hard.
Yeah.
They were actually hard.
Like, do you
to
remember getting double kills with fusion rifles for the
yeah, you just pull
Vanguard?
out the old
First
Vexmith-
Bloods.
You'd pull
Those
out the
are the
Vex Mythic
best.
class and just just slap.
Oh man, mythical.
But I'd love to see like maybe a quest that's actually Iron Banner goes for a week, and it's the whole season, so it rotates 2 or 3 times in the whole season. Maybe a quest that could go for the whole week, even if it's not someone who's got a full-time job, or like someone who has a full-time job can't do the quest, carry it on to the next one, and
You
like
did right there, Banjo.
yeah, a quest that actually can give you not just an emblem but more shit.
Maybe
yeah.
they could
Feel like you're
do
earning your
dailies.
stuff hard.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
more
could do daily missions for it.
daily Iron Banner,
Just
Iron Banner
refresh.
banners. Exactly, Siv.
Like,
That was-
they
yeah.
don't need to be pinnacles, but if they guarantee you a drop with one of the weapons, then
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Something.
And that's
Hang on.
sorry, Greg.
Something that might lead into more of an Iron Banner quest that drops a specific gun would be that they've came out and said that felwinters will be obtainable in season 13. Do we think that's going to be tied to an Iron Banner quest, considering that the last one was just a community quest, right?
yeah.
Or is it going to be more tailored to Iron Banner because that's where the gun originally came from?
It can answer that if you would like.
Yeah, sure, go.
Unfortunately, by the sounds of it, Felwinters is actually going to be coming out of the Legacy and Exotic kiosk, so it's going to be coming out of the same thing. You jump in with an Exotic Cipher or a Ascendant Shard and whatnot and purchase it from there. So that's where we're going to be getting Felwinters. Being a past weapon, that's what we're going to be getting. But I do believe, I may have read it wrong, that we are looking at getting rerolls of it through Iron Banner, maybe, but I could be completely wrong there. But from what I read in the seasonal updates and what Bungie put up and all that on their Twitters and whatnot on their site, it's looking like it's just going to be coming from the kiosk. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
Random rolls though sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Random roll sounds good.
I do agree with the kiosk roll, like the kiosk thing. I can see that happening for sure.
I'm pretty sure
It's
that
just
it is.
available.
I'm pretty sure from where I could pull it up now, but it's going to take me a hot minute, so I won't. But by the looks of it, it is coming from the kiosk. But I mean, I'd also like different rolls. That'd be cool. Would be.
So, in playing Iron Banner this week for at least the couple of days that it's been out, Woody, have you seen anything that's sort of meta is there anything that's like you're seeing that's really common, like apart from maybe stasis I can imagine is really common?
I mean, hawkmoon's pretty prevalent, but I haven't been noticing that. Like, I haven't been one shot by it yet. But I mean, I just run dunes anyway, so anyone else that's on a Titan's probably running dunes, and they're everywhere, and they're impossible to deal with. And that's I don't know. I've seen a few people run it against me, but yeah.
Banjo,
There's nothing being sticking out.
Are there any weapons that stand out to you that are dominant in Iron Banner?
Yeah, I was like, again with Woody, I didn't play today, but I played Iron Banner yesterday, and yeah, maybe just the hawkmoon. It just obviously any new quest it's going to be dominant. It's going to be dominant in the Crucible all the time. But other than that, yeah, just the classic stasis doesn't need to be talked about. I don't think.
Not
It's so
yet.
dominant.
Not yet.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sick of the healing rifts. I'm sick of being frozen to healing rifts from 4 meters away. Like, yeah. But other than that, like weapons related, no. It's just quests. People are still getting on today because they maybe didn't have Wednesday off, or like, yeah, you're still gonna see a mixture of weapons until the quest is over. Maybe later in the week, but.
Civ, with you playing Iron Banner, have you seen anything that's...
Yeah, I've been running a bit of the freelance queue, which they added.
Yep.
Which seems to be pretty good. No more 6 stacks of, 6 titans running dunes, walking around the corner and punching you once. Like,
Yeah. Sorry.
the quote-unquote skill-based matchmaking feels a little bit off at times. I feel like, sometimes they drop someone in who's clearly above that skill level.
Yeah.
These people drop like 4 40 bombs in a row, and you're like, okay, all right, fair.
I respect it.
Yeah. But I do want to talk about the new hand cannon though.
The steady hand?
Yeah, the steady hand. That thing hits like a truck. I've got a swashbuckle outlaw, I think, on mine, and it can pull off the 2 taps when you get the rampage.
Yes, sir.
Actually going. Like it's a good time.
I have the same one. It's been rolling.
And it's got good range as well. Fun hand cannon. As for meta stuff, I mean, people using Might multi-tool.
That was just for the
purely for scout kills, probably.
Yeah.
So you think steady hand might be the new 120 that people replace True Prophecy or like a Duke?
Yeah, I definitely reckon that's possible, especially considering you can roll Rampage or Swashbuckler. So, you can get that melee off and just probably 2-tap people.
Okay. Baccy, is there anything in Iron Banner that you've noticed that stands out?
felwinters is still a thing.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
And we still don't have it.
Nah, for me, it's I have to agree with Banjo in the respect that I've seen a lot of stasis and stuff like that. The new hand cannon, I have not been enjoying getting slapped over by that. I've noticed that there's been a bunch of rampage rolls screaming around with that. And rampage is a controversial thing in its own right now, but we won't talk about that because that's just unfair and AIDS. But yeah, no, for me, I've been running around with hawkmoon. I've been running around shotgunning. I've finally acquired Dune Marches, and Destiny is now just easy mode. So I am the meta.
Would I be correct in assuming that you don't own Felwinters, correct?
No, I do not. I very proudly did not play that season. Purely because I was busy in a way being an Apex kid on Apex Legends. But no, I came back too late for that one. I'm really annoyed that I did that. My business though.
So how do you feel that the people that were playing on that season have a shotgun that outranges most shotguns that are currently in the loot pool? How does it make you feel that you don't have a shotgun that's I'm going to say inadequate in the range department?
Before this weekly reset, before they released all those patch notes and dev notes about what they're planning with Season 13 and Felwinters coming into like the kiosk and whatnot, I felt the same way as a lot of other people that they did. Felwinters is a gun that we should have been able to get, and at least pull out of collections or something similar to once you've got it once. But obviously it's got a standard roll, and it's always just felt really unbalanced that people have had a shotgun that can just snipe you from like 6-7 meters away, while other ones you've got to get like up close and really dirty with like Doom Marches as well, or something like that. So it's always felt like there's been more of an advantage towards people that have had Felwinters. But now things are looking pretty good, so my opinion's changed somewhat. You know what that is. It's just that, give me the gun. I want the gun. Please, Bungo. Can we have the gun?
So do you think that in Season 13, when they do bring out Felwinters in the chaos, that everyone's just going to run around with Felwinters? It's going to be like a shotgun meta almost?
Well, yeah. That's just going to happen. It's going to happen once that's available, especially when you get
Destiny.
Well, they're giving us the components for it. You've now got more ways to farm Ascendant Shards. Xur comes in once a week with an exotic Cypher quest, and you can farm your seasonal materials, keep them, and start Season 13. Go straight to the kiosk with all your saved materials and Glimmer and whatnot. Go straight in there and just grab Felwinters in Season 13 when it's there. it's gonna be rampant. But
think
I'm
there'll
hoping
be
with season 13 coming out, they're gonna bring out more weapons to balance the situation.
Yeah, surely there'll be an alternative before then.
That's what's gonna annoy me though. If they bring in that alternative that can finally just beat Felwinters at its own game,
Well, not beat, but like
100% of the
compete, because
time.
nothing else competes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If when they do finally bring that gun out that like competes on like as like a 50-50 gun where it just depends, that literally just comes down to shotgun skill, which
Do they need a new gun though, or do they need to just tone down Felwinters?
well here's the thing though that's
If they do
wondering-
tone it down, it loses its identity though.
yeah, if they tone it down, it loses its identity. See, that's I haven't thought about it that deeply yet because again, all my thoughts have been is I want the gun.
The
We
desire
that's
of
just
not
me
having it.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So moving on from Iron Banner and PvP, it is Christmas time, and Destiny do bring out Season of the
holiday
Dawning
seasons.
or Festival of the Dawning. So I'm gonna kick this off with directed at Banjo. Banjo, you're a player of Destiny 1.
Yes, I
Do
am.
we want to see Sparrow Racing League come back?
Do we? Oh,
Oh,
I can't honestly say I've thought about this. Like, you gotta say yes, right? Give us something to do.
It was the
Like-
Christmas
Yeah, man.
update where
something to do.
instead
Let's
of
see.
a new PvP activity or making cookies for Riven,
Made
Like-
plenty of them.
you could
Oh.
whip out your sparrows that were 160 speed and race your friends.
Yeah, well, like, why not, right? Where no one seems, a lot of the community doesn't seem to like Gambit. We can all, I feel like we can agree on that, all of us.
Agreed.
I mean, yeah,
And a lot of other people.
yeah.
Sometimes we're sick of running Crucible. Sometimes we're sick of getting slapped by the 3KDers that just play all day. Sometimes we want to break. And then sometimes we don't want to sit in strikes because we're just like, we're over strikes. And
I
then
don't know,
maybe
I
we might
don't-
not be light level ready for a raid. So
Yeah.
bring it back. Bring it back.
Okay.
Why not?
You know, I don't know if anyone's ever recalled it, but I do recall in the past just jokingly saying, "When's Sparrow Racing come back? When's Sparrow Racing coming back?" You know,
Yeah,
So,
it's been
and
thrown
once it-
around a fair bit.
once it does finally come back, and I'm hoping it is. Come on, Banjo, please. It's just gonna be fun.
Bungie,
There's
hint, hint,
nothing
come
but
on.
fun in that game mode.
So the question is, do we want to see the same Sparrow Racing League that was in D1 where it was just race your friends, have a bit of fun, or do we think it might be more fun if it took like a Mario Kart turn
Ooh.
where there were power-ups, you know, more of a, you know, bring in almost a PvP sense, but
Mm.
still have the fun game mode as racing on Sparrows. So what do you
True.
think?
I don't know. I don't feel like a power-up based Sparrow racing would work. I mean, obviously you could make it work, but like
Mm. It-
Sparrow racing,
Keep it to privates, maybe. Keep the
yeah.
power ups to privates.
See,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
I'm gonna quickly jump in and slap you with the annoying one. I think we should have both. So I think there should be just the one where it genuinely is just racing. You can fucking muck off and race your
Yeah.
friends around like crazy, or you could have that option of having like a Mario Kart game mode almost. You know, that'd be cool as. And you know, if you got your directional keys on the right side of your keyboard, like that are bound to just your character animation pointing in a certain direction, they could then change those binds and making it where you could send your power up or
Use your
whatever you're using to
power-ups.
annoy your character. You know, so that'd be. Cool.
I mean, we do have Mayhem. Like Mayhem exists, and I would argue that's not a very serious game mode, but it's fun.
it is hectic fun. It is so.
They
good.
also put it on a rotation, which might be what they decide to do.
That'd be cool. I mean, if I think that's another big thing that they need to have going at the moment. Just more random fun. That would be a
Mm.
big. I know for a fact that that'd bring a ton of people back into the community. Just having those random things you can do again. So that's just hours and hours of laughter and annoying moments and beers to be had playing Destiny doing Sparrow Racing. That's just hectic fun. It's got to happen, please.
So with the Festival of the Dawning, Banjo, are there any quests or anything you remember from previous ones, Destiny 1 or 2? Is there anything that stands out apart from Sparrow Racing League that you think that, you know, is always good come Christmas time. Like that makes you want to play the game. Like
Honestly, like D1 is too far back. I'm
Yep.
trying to like the only memories we get from D1 are like the real special moments that we had, not the small stuff like that. But in D2, maybe like everyone looks forward to a good sparrow, like the tiny sparrow they're bringing back. And I feel like it's gonna be the most used sparrow, I think, because everyone loved it when it first came out. Everyone loved it, and if you missed the opportunity to get it, there's one coming right around the corner. So I think everyone's gonna abuse that. Yeah, more mini sparrows.
more mini sparrows.
Maybe like in regard to this, the RSL, we've moved on from the SRL, but maybe a sparrow built around SRL too, if it was to come back. But that's going elsewhere.
Give it racing stripes. It'll be
Just paint it red. It goes faster. Trust me.
Exactly.
Nah. But yeah, that's another one we can talk about. Can we edit our own sparrows? Not with shader, but like a little garage where we can like paint our shit. Like we can.
Or if you could change like the trails on them.
Yeah,
that would
just
be cool.
mix it up. Like as Becky said, just add that little more spice to Destiny.
I may
where we
be
can-
wrong, but I do believe I read something along those lines. But I'm not going to say I did. But I may be just dipping too far in then. But I do think there is something like that coming along where you can change the trails and whatnot.
They should. I reckon they should do it like they've done with the ghosts, where you level them up and pick your perks for them. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah, so more air mobility and directional control, more boost, or like
Lead into sparrow
a longer
perks.
boost, or
Yeah.
maybe a limited boost but an increased speed and stuff like that.
So moving on from Festival of the Dawning, I'm gonna ask everyone a question here. Baccy, what is one nerf or buff you'd like to see in the upcoming patch?
To me, I think stasis just needs that little bit more of a tweak. It's feeling more balanced in some regards, where I'm being killed less by warlocks, but I'm still being slapped by the tremendous and amazing ability of a silencer squall able to curve around a corner and smack me in the face. So I think there is still some slight tweaking to be done with stasis, but other than that, it's all feeling like really smooth now. After they got rid of like the early mercies and all that sort of stuff this week, and all that Crucible game length time stuff being fixed, I'm pretty happy. But just stasis just needs to just hone it the fuck down a little bit.
Okay, Banjo, do you have any thoughts on nerfs or buffs that you'd like to see?
I couldn't agree more with Baccy. I've played Destiny for too long now. Too long. And yeah, it's just I try and keep Crucible in my mind as you plant your feet on the ground, you'd shoot your gun. But obviously that's not Destiny. It's never going to be Destiny. But just the fact that you're frozen still for what feels like too long. Yeah, you can break out of it, but what feels like too long and just getting shit on or like getting emoed and then shot. It's like, do I feel disrespected? Not really. It's a game, but like, it's just like it's not what you want to see.
Do you feel that stasis needs the nerf, or maybe the other subclasses need a buff? Right?
No, I don't think
level out.
I think if they did that, it would just cause too many problems. I think just as Baccy said, just tweak it a tiny bit. Just don't nerf it into the ground.
Because when you go into talking about, sorry to butt in, but when you go into talking about like other subclasses needing a buff, why? It's not like having a solo subclass is going to counter that for some weird reason. Makes sense, fire to counter ice. I think we've heard some friends say that. But and the reality of things, the only thing that needs to be tweaked is like aim assist on those sort of things, tracking and whatnot, and just range. Just the freeze range and some of those things is still a little bit iffy. So yeah, just a tweak. I myself am with Banjo as well. Just needs to tweak.
Civ, maybe a buff.
Maybe
something.
I'm sorry, but I can't say there's anything I want buffed at the moment. I want the Warlock stasis super to not be able to kill you through walls. I've had a bolt track me around a corner, solid 90-degree turn, and he just flicks his staff up through a wall, still kills me.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just like hundreds
no
of
hiding from
boomerangs
stasis.
as well.
Yeah, there is no hiding.
So
I think
like
Nova Bomb.
even
Fist
if
of Havoc?
even if they tweak it a little bit, what if there was like a counter, like Baccy was saying, like even the whole aspect of teammates shooting frozen teammates.
Yes. Resilience having more of an effect on it.
Resilience having
Like,
making
right now it has a little bit, I think. I'm not 100% sure. They said it did. Don't spec into resilience that
I
much.
heard a little bit about resilience having more of an effect on you being able to get away from those sorts of things faster, and I will say now, resilience does make a difference, but as I said, with stasis in its current state, it just needs that little bit of a tick, like, just take it down a tick, and everything will be nice. It'll be smooth as.
Like, you don't want people to come up, bag you while you're still frozen, then one-shot you with a shotgun. Because that feels bad.
Woody, is there anything you'd like to add?
Honestly, I still can't get around my head like this. I don't think stasis should be in the game, but anyway, Behemoth is busted, like
So the Titan
full
Super?
busted. The Titan Super is specifically busted compared to any other super in the game.
Yeah, you can clear a lot.
Are we talking the mouse 2, which is to
Movement?
freeze everything, or mouse 1 to be able to uppercut?
It's all of it. All of it. The movement is ridiculous. We played around with it in
We've all seen
privates,
it.
and
Yeah.
and it's literally just infinite flight, bro. And it's fucking super. It's
I don't
That's a
know.
warlock thing.
You guys may have noticed in our recent play arounds with Destiny and as our frequent games and whatnot, I've become quite the master of the Lion's Rampart art of flying with stasis and a Titan. So,
yes,
yeah.
it's specifically
hella
that's
fun.
busted. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. Buff hand cannons.
Buff hand cannon?
Buff hand cannons.
Yeah, that's definitely
no,
what the game
no,
needs.
don't you mean?
Disagree.
No, don't you mean
Disagree.
buff
No,
all hand cannons?
And
Banjo,
buff
go on.
felwinters.
If you could choose an archetype of weapon that, pulse rifle, auto rifle, which one would you like to see more of?
More of. Well, as a previous console player, we went through 2 seasons of just auto rifles. I think it was two whole seasons. I don't know about PC, but it was just too much. Like, so it's good to see not just hand cannons, but everything back in the mix. Like, but in regard to what you're actually asking, maybe I don't know. Pulse rifles are pulse rifles. They're always gonna be good at mid range. No time to explain. Can 2 bursts.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, it hurts. Like, obviously, just don't position yourself in a spot where you're gonna get like shotgunned or whatever. But in regard to any other guns, yeah, I think it's fine. Like, I don't think hand cannon's got that slight range buff, and I noticed that. I noticed that a lot. Like, they don't feel like they're doing like their proper damage, and then as soon as they fall outside that range, they're doing instantly half. It doesn't feel like that anymore. It feels like you can still 3, maybe 4 tap when you need, like, at a long range for a hand cannon. So
you feel like it's balanced enough to use any weapon?
Yeah, you don't see anything dominating. I think the weapons are good right now. Maybe aren't people seeing it as a whole as well? Maybe because they're just so focused on fucking stasis right now, they don't see the unbalanced or OP weapons. But I think it all seems fine at the moment. I think it's just the stasis.
Yeah, I've got a big Banjo with that because to me at the moment I'm seeing a really good balance. I think this season especially, like, if we're talking about last season, I am still having flashbacks of being shot with cold denial every 2 seconds, having annoying hunger blasting my ass, and who knows what else came out there,
Yeah.
This season I'm really stoked to see more hand cannons, just as many shotguns, just as many pulse rifles, and just as many assault rifles, but everything just feeling balanced. It's really cool. Because people like Greg, he's been running around with Memento, which is an auto rifle, and it actually slaps for this season. You've got the carbine that's come back. You've got even False Promises. That's actually that's caught my eye a bit. I've been mucking around with that today. You've got, forgive me, but I can't remember the name from the Iron Banner, the assault rifle that's with that. The Forward Path, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That's come out. So then they're all really good guns. The scout rifle from Iron Banner, not worth the time. But then again, if you're talking about scout rifles being balanced, you go to Trustee from the raid. That's a really good gun. I use that for my scout rifle kills in the Iron Banner quest. Shotguns, they're still all the craze. I think there always will be when there's this many Titans running around the world. and
Do
yeah,
we
you
think
didn't-
we've seen a sniper fall off though?
Yeah, I was literally about to say the one thing I haven't seen as much of. I think in the first week of Beyond Light, I was still seeing Revokers and Eye of Souls and just Ominous Eyes and different other sorts of snipers. But these last few days, especially, and the last couple of weeks,
Shotties.
I've only seen shotties, pulses, assault rifles, and hand cannons. And
Also, no scout rifles. Because no one's using scout rifles
No
at
one's
the
using
moment.
scout rifles.
Mm.
Scout rifles
True.
probably need a little bit of love.
True.
I've been using my trusty in PvP. I use my trusty. The only when I say I use the trusty, which is by definition a scout rifle, but mine's got full. It's got
Full auto
Full,
trigger.
It's
yeah,
it's like an
yeah.
auto rifle.
It's hella fun, and that thing really hits hard. I think people are sleeping on that gun quite a bit.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, I think we're gonna wrap that up here. I want to thank you guys all for coming and talking. That's Baccy, Banjo, Civ, and Woody.
Right.
Yo.
Thanks for everyone for tuning in. This is episode 2 of the Guardian Down podcast. I'm GregTheDuck, and yeah, can't wait to film a 3rd episode.
Bye.
And
Until
until
next
next time, Guardian
Guardian down.
down.